from the area's most experienced news team. This is NBC 29 HD News at 6.
The season's first widespread snowfall arrived this morning all across central Virginia and the Shenandoah Valley. This was the scene in Waynesboro, where the snow was coming down pretty steadily along Ladd Road. It was a pretty thin snow, so kind of hard to see there, but you can see it stuck to the grass there in Waynesboro. It was the same situation here in Charlottesville. The flakes were falling over at the University of Virginia earlier today. Some big flakes mixed in there. This, of course, one of those conversational snows, as we always like to say, is enough to get us talking about how pretty it was out there, but thankfully not enough to cause any serious problems out there on the roadways. But we are talking about some really bitter cold moving in here, and Clayton Steimer, more snow, possibly a lot more snow too.
There's a lot of chatter going on about a maybe potential nor'easter at the end of the upcoming week,
so
here
next
weekend.
This week.
Yes, definitely a lot of weather to talk about, but for the snow fans, of course, a pretty happy sight today, the way this winter has gone so far. It sure was. Let's recap some of the snowfall totals, folks. Dillwyn in Buckingham County actually picking up 1 inch, but most locations east and west of the Blue Ridge today around or just less than a ½ inch. That little dusting there, wet coating mainly on grassy surfaces. High temperatures, 37 today in Charlottesville, made it up to 41 in Greene, middle 30s across the Shenandoah Valley. So again, with those temperatures above freezing, most of the roadways were wet, but we are going to have to watch for maybe a little refreeze. Be careful of some black ice tonight as the temperatures plummet. We still do have some damp spots out there. Quiet scan of NBC 29's exclusive dual pole triple Doppler radar. Coastal low pressure is exiting well out to sea tonight. We see some snow showers back to our west, but that'll get hung up in the Alleghenies. So for us, variable clouds, overnight lows 14 to 20. The breezes pick up as that really cold air starts to come blasting in here. And check out your Monday now. Our temperatures not getting out of the 20s for highs. There will be a lot of sunshine, but with a breeze, it's going to feel much colder. A closer look at the wind chill values and that potential storm next week in a bit. Now we'll send it back to Matt.
Burr, Clayton, thank you. Charlottesville police tonight are investigating a robbery on the downtown mall. This happened around 2 a.m. Saturday. The victim tells police that a group of 4 men surrounded him while he was walking in the 700 block of East Main Street. That's right near the Pavilion, City Hall, even police headquarters right there. He says he tried to run away but tripped and fell. The victim says the 2 guys held him down while the other 2 dug through his pockets. They got away with some cash and a cell phone. If you know anything about this, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers. The number's on your screen. It's 434-977-4000. 5 people, including 2 children, are dead in this overnight house fire in Chesterfield. Firefighters were called to Wicklow Lane around 3:15 this morning. Witnesses reported hearing a big boom as that house went up in flames. 10 people were inside the home at the time of the blaze. 5 of them escaped with the help of firefighters. A 1-year-old and a 3-year-old are among the 5 victims. The cause of the fire is still under investigation. Right now, the African American community in Charlottesville is coming together for a town hall meeting that's inspired by the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. People, as you see here live, are discussing issues affecting the African American community. They hope to create an action plan to address some of these concerns. Newly elected Vice Mayor Wes Bellamy helped organize the event at Tonsler Park Community Center. It's going on for a couple more hours now. We will have a full report coming up tonight on your NBC 29 HD News at 11. To Decision 2016, and tonight in Charleston, South Carolina, a Democratic debate drama. Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are suddenly ramping up their rhetoric as the polls are tightening in Iowa. And gun control is one of the main issues of contention tonight. NBC's Brian Moore joins us from Washington with the story.
I'm at 3 candidates in tonight's debate, and it's hard to say who has the most to win or lose. In the battleground state of South Carolina, the stage is set for the last Democratic debate of this pre-primary season, and Hillary Clinton is in attack mode.
Senator Sanders has for years voted many times on behalf of the NRA gun lobby position.
And she says he was for protecting gun sellers and makers from liability before he was against it.
He flip-flopped last night, said that he would sign on to a bill.
Tonight's debate takes place a block from the Charleston church where 9 people were gunned down last June. But Sanders says Clinton's taking off her gloves now because of a very different issue. Poll numbers that have Sanders gaining in Iowa and leading in New Hampshire.
Secretary Clinton and her campaign understand that, they're losing ground.
And Sanders promises to hit Clinton on issues ranging from health care to
a corrupt campaign finance system where people like Secretary Clinton can raise millions of dollars through super PACs. Those are kind of the issues that they don't want to discuss.
For the third candidate on the stage, former Maryland Governor Martin O'Malley, a much simpler mission. Get a word in edgewise as Sanders and Clinton go after each other. Brian Moore, NBC News, Washington.
Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump will visit Liberty University in Lynchburg tomorrow morning. The GOP frontrunner will deliver a speech at the university's Convocation Center starting at 10:30. The event is open to the public. Liberty's Convocation has hosted several 2016 presidential candidates so far, including Republican Ted Cruz and Ben Carson and Democrat Bernie Sanders. The university says Trump's last visit in 2012 was broadcast to a record audience. A growing ministry at a church in Waynesboro is changing the lives of people who are unable to hear. Members of the Deaf Fellowship at Wayne Hills Baptist Church are using sign language to spread God's word. NBC 29's Spencer Burke is in the newsroom now to show us. Hi, Spencer.
Good evening, Matt. Well, the Wayne Hills Deaf Fellowship allows the deaf community to worship in American Sign Language. It's a way for them to understand the church service while not getting lost in translation. Wayne Hills Baptist Church in Waynesboro opens its sanctuary to all walks of life. And on Sundays, the door to this small meeting room is open to the deaf.
In God's Word, there's a lot of inferences. There's a lot of things that are more difficult to explain in ASL versus in English language.
Wendy Fletcher is an interpreter for the deaf. By ASL, she means American Sign Language, a first language for many who meet during the Sunday school class, with English being their second language. Randy Beiser is the Sunday school teacher. He was born deaf. I really felt God calling me here to Wayne Hills, he says, because I really thought that they needed that interaction. They needed to make sure that God's word was clear to them, because I didn't want them to continue to be lost. The Wayne Hills Deaf Fellowship started 4 years ago. Fletcher says a special relationship between the deaf and the hearing community was established from the start.
A lot of our hearing people that are in the congregation, they are very comfortable with our deaf members being here. They interact with each other during the welcome time, shaking hands, giving hugs.
Beiser hopes to bring more deaf people into the fellowship, to embrace them and teach them what they cannot learn in a hearing world. Beiser explains, I just hope that someday that we'll have our own deaf church in our own building and everything. And after their Sunday school session, the deaf community will join the hearing community for worship services, and interpreters are there too, interpreting the whole entire service.
Pretty neat. Spencer Burke in the newsroom tonight. Thank you, Spencer. Today marks the first of 40 days of prayer and reflection for students at the University of Virginia. The Student Prayer Collective on Grounds is organizing this collegiate day of prayer. It is the 101st year of the event. Students at UVA and dozens of other college campuses around the country are calling for 40 days of prayer and fasting as a countdown to National Day of Prayer, February 25th.
In colleges around the United States, our future leaders are there, our future politicians are there. So we want to make sure that prayer is in the forefront of their life.
Hundreds of prayer meetings will take place from now until the end of February, both on and off UVA grounds. For more information on how to get involved, you can go to a news link we've posted at NBC29.com. There is still some time left tonight to enjoy dinner at Shadwell's Restaurant in Albemarle County, all to support a community cause. The Kiwanis Club of Charlottesville is hosting a special event. It's called Wine and Dine for the Kids. Shadwell's will donate a portion of proceeds from each meal that's served to someone who mentions the fundraiser. The money will go to the club's Sweet Dreams project, which will help provide brand new bedding for children in need.
Parents will buy food and school clothes first. Bedding doesn't always come around, and so we started doing this after a group in Denver started it.
In addition to blankets and sheets, children will also get some other bedtime supplies, including toothbrushes and toothpaste, stuffed toys, and a book. Event organizers hope to make this a monthly fundraiser. We'll be right back with your forecast. Hundreds of little ones and their parents packed the Paramount Theater today in downtown Charlottesville for a sing-along to Disney's popular movie Frozen. The theater had popcorn and glow-in-the-dark sticks there for the kids, and of course, plenty of little girls came dressed as the character Elsa. I don't know why no one likes Anna, right? Anna and Elsa.
I think it's Anna.
No one likes Anna. Everyone dresses as Elsa there. Parents and children got to enjoy singing along to the music as the movie played. Let it go.
There you
go,
Matt.
Let the snow go. Right.
That's the next karaoke tune for you.
Yeah, right. A Charlottesville woman's plea to Adele for free tickets to her concert is going viral. Her parody of the popular British singer's hit, Hello, has been viewed millions of times on social media. NBC 29's Rachel Menitoff. Can you hear me? You caught up with her today?
Matt, I can hear you. I can hear you. Janae Bradford says this was entirely unexpected. She posted the video one day before going to work, and when she got home, her phone and her Facebook page were buzzing.
Hello from the parking lot. I was so shocked. I didn't know what to do.
Janae Bradford, also known as Nay Michelle, planned to buy 2 tickets to Adele's October concert in Washington, D.C.
I was wondering if you could send me 2 tickets for free.
That's before she realized tickets cost upwards of $500. So this 24-year-old retail worker decided to perform a parody song called Hello from the Parking Lot.
The song basically says, you know, Adele, I'm at home, you know, I gotta pay my bills, you know, nothing's around here, you know, it isn't cheap, you know. I gotta pay for Wi-Fi.
3.8 million views later, Bradford is now recording an official music video around Charlottesville.
That's all I've been listening to for like the last 3 days. So right now it's kind of motivating me, like just to hear the song and to see somebody who never had any music history to just make a song and this happening.
Hello.
Bradford says she never expected this kind of exposure from a simple Facebook video, but she hopes it will propel her music career forward and, of course, win those 2 free Adele tickets.
So to have people actually from Charlottesville, you know, pushing me and supporting me and being my family away from home, it means a lot, and it's very overwhelming. It's a blessing.
Bradford says fans should expect that next music video in the next few weeks.
2 free tickets. I think we need about 10 for the NBC 29 studio.
I agree.
I agree. We're going to tweet Adele here in a bit, and I'm sure she'll respond to us. But good luck to her. Good voice there. Rachel Menitoff. Thanks, Rachel. We'll be right back.